Hello and welcome to this Syniti Data Replication demo showing how to set up change data capture from Oracle to Apache Kafka. All transactions from Oracle tables are captured and processed to this popular data streaming solution. Let's take a look at the system architecture. Syniti Data Replication must be installed on a Microsoft Windows Server operating system. This could be on-premise or in the cloud, or you can also install Syniti Data Replication on the same system where the source or target database is running. If you plan to install in a production environment or you want to control workload on your database servers, we highly recommend that you use a third system just for change data capture operations. This will optimize the replication process performance and any administration tasks. The requirements for Syniti Data Replication are very simple. The Windows system must have the latest version of the .NET framework. For change data capture with Oracle databases, you have to install the Oracle client with the .NET provider on the system where Syniti Data Replication is running. We recommend creating a user specifically for the replication process on Oracle. For the Kafka connection, all we need is the .NET data provider. Let's start with the connection to our Oracle database. To set up this connection, I'll add the .NET Provider DLL installed with the Oracle client. The file is called oracledataaccess.dll and is usually located in this folder. I'm entering the IP address including the database instance and also the user and password. The user should have DBA privileges, but if you want to know the specific permissions, you can research this information in our user guide or on our support. Now select schemas and tables for this demo. Syniti Data Replication allows you to select multiple tables or a complete schema. If you miss the tables at this stage, no problem, they can be included later, even when the replication process is running. The next step is to set up the Oracle transactional option. You have three methods to capture transactions. The first one is reading the log directly. This option is ideal for its simple configuration and speed when replicating a few tables. The second option is the log server agent, which allows you to manage a large number of replications through a single connection to the Oracle database. Finally, there's the triggers option, generally used when access to the Oracle logs is technically impossible. For this demo, I'll use the option to read the log directly. The connection to the Oracle database is complete. In fact, here you can see the table to verify that it has some data. Next, I'll set up the connection to Kafka using the Confluent Kafka data provider. The setup guide available in the Help Center is very useful for this step. The link can be found in this video description. You can see that the supported Kafka data provider version changes depending on the Syniti Data Replication release number. I'm going to use Confluent Kafka version 170 with Syniti Data Replication 9.8.1. I'll use NuGet to download and install the three required packages. You need to install all three packages according to instructions in the setup guide. Let's go to the NuGet website and search for Confluent Kafka. You can see the three packages. You can install the provider through Microsoft Visual Studio, but we'll install directly using the Windows command line, which is faster. First, download the NuGet.exe tool from the Downloads tab. Once the file is downloaded, I'll save it in the folder to be used for installation. It's very important to make a note of this location because it's needed later. I'll open a Windows command prompt in the folder where the NuGet executable is saved. Here you can see the command to fetch and decompress the files. Be sure to include the right driver version and the right folder version. Here are the results. The next step is to identify the files specified in the setup guide and copy them to the Syniti Data Replication plugins folder for Kafka. Here is the first file to copy over. It's very important to copy all the files listed in the setup guide, otherwise Syniti Data Replication cannot connect to the Kafka server. After installing and copying the files for the Confluent Kafka package, follow the same steps for the 2 remaining packages. Once all the files are copied, the plugin's Kafka folder should look like this. You can run Apache Zookeeper with the Kafka server to manage the Kafka environment more easily and test that the provider's running. Now I can set up the target connection to Kafka in Syniti Data Replication. I'll select Apache Kafka. All the other necessary data is filled in automatically. Here I'll enter the IP address or server name of the system running Kafka, the output folder for the config files for the Kafka objects, and the topic name created with my Kafka instance. You can also choose the type of serialization to use. With Syniti Data Replication 9.8.1, Avro is supported, but I'll keep the default JSON. Although Kafka doesn't use tables, I'll create a target table to represent Kafka data in Syniti Data Replication, just to complete the setting and mapping process. Once the target table is created, I'll set up the type of replication to use in this project by dragging the Oracle source to the Kafka target. Syniti Data Replication offers 2 types of replication for Kafka: refresh, which allows powerful data uploads in bulk mode, and mirroring or change data capture, which captures only the changes generated in the source database and moves them almost instantly to the Kafka target system. Note that Syniti Data Replication has no restrictions regarding the number of source and target databases to be replicated. I need to set the time interval for reading the Oracle logs and any mapping information for tables during the change data capture process, including mapping to expressions or customizing mapping using scripts. And with this, the configuration process is complete. The last step is to run the replication agent, which can be started either as an application or a service. If configured as a service, the agent starts automatically in the event of an operating system restart. The first action that the solution will perform is to load the data from the source table in Oracle through a batch process. Keep in mind that the time it takes for this initial refresh will depend on a number of factors, such as table sizes, data types, or connection speed between source and target. Here's the replicated data in the Kafka environment. Once the initial refresh is done, Syniti Data Replication runs the change data capture operations. To verify that this is working correctly, I'll use the SQL query feature in the Management Center to execute a typical SQL update operation in the Oracle database. The replication monitor allows you to visualize the change data capture process. You can see that one record has been updated. If there are errors in the process, they can be detected in this same window. The update operation was processed successfully. So you can see that setting up change data capture between a source and target database is a short, simple process with Syniti Data Replication. Check out the webpage at www.syniti.com Syniti Data Replication for a full list of supported sources and targets.